Sugaridoo channel. Welcome to a new video, and today I'm going to go quilting again. I'm very excited to hop behind my sewing machine and actually make something, and I am working on this beautiful block. It is a round robin from our quilt bee, and I get to add a third round around the center block. In the description below I'm tagging all the makers from the previous rounds and Carla, who made the center block, so you can go check out their Instagram accounts. I really like where this round robin is going. It's bright with the yellows and the pink, so I'm going to add more of that. And for the design I was thinking to do some improv quilting. So I'm going to add 2 rows of quarter circles, and then on both sides. So I'm not going to add anything on the top and on the bottom of the block, so it's going to get a rectangular shape. Or maybe I should add something to the top and the bottom and not to the sides. Now it's square, so I'm just going to make the borders and then place it on top and the sides and see what looks better. Yeah, so I'm going to add that, and I'm using blocks from this book called Quilt Improv, which I really love. And I'm going to use some low volume fabrics for the background, and I'm going to use these lovely colorful fabrics for the quarter circles. I'm not sure how wide the border is going to be, so I'm just starting out with 4.5-inch squares and then chop them up and quilt as we go. So let's start by putting this one away and chopping up some fabric. I already cut 2 of these and I made a test block. So this is the way I want to go. So I'm going to make a few of these in different shapes and sizes, and then going to add some borders of low volume fabric around the sides or the top, so I can vary the width of the borders. But I'm starting out with 4.5-inch squares. And it's all improv quilting, so it's okay if it's going to be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. No problem at all. And then we need some color from these fabrics. So what I'm going to do now is I take a low volume square, and I take a colored fabric and I place them right sides facing each other, and I'm going to shift the colored square a little bit down so I have here a seam allowance, and then I'm just going to chop, and I'm cutting a quarter of a circle. So I'm going to use this part and this part. So now I can start sewing. So I hope this is going to make sense, and if not, then you really should go by the Quilt Improv book. But this is a technique which is done by many improv quilters, and I'm just trying my own version. So you put the, let me show again, you put the colored half circle matching up with the low volume fabric, like so, and I'm going to place down my presser foot and my needle, and then I'm going to sew while matching up the seams. So with my hands I guide the fabrics so that the sides of the fabric match up. There we go. That is one side. So now I've stitched this side of the half circle, quarter circle, and now I'm going to place it back at the center point where I started. right here. Place down the needle again. And again I'm going to pull and sew very slowly while matching up, oops, the sides of the fabric. I'm really not so experienced in this, so I do need some practice, but well, here we go. Oh, my bobbin thread is finished. But anyway, I can show you the results. So here we have our quarter circle. So when I now go and give it a press, oh, look at that. A improv quilted quarter circle. So that's the third one. Let's do some more. Wait a minute. I was thinking why there's a gap over here and why it's sticking out over there. I'm doing it the wrong way. I have to cut it like this. So, okay. Yes, you should put the fabrics with the right sides up and then cut it. That makes more sense. Because when you now look at this shape matches, and otherwise I was trying to match this shape, which also matches pretty good, but this matches better. So when I go now and flip it and sew it like this, this is the way to go. See? I'm just going to put this over at my machine so I can cut another block right away. So right side up and right side up, and then cut away. Practice makes perfect. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth block I'm sewing today, and look at this. Here are the seams, and the seams are matching up quite nicely, and it's not necessary, but now I just have to trim away less fabric, and it just means that I improved a little bit on my accuracy while sewing. And another one. I'm really starting to like sewing curves. So now I'm sewing my last one. Finally starting to get the hang of it a little bit. It's a bit tricky sewing round shapes, but I think practicing and taking your time really makes making curves easier, and it is still not as difficult as I always thought, so just need a little bit more practice, I guess. There we go, the final one. So I'm going to make 6 pairs, 3 on each side, and it would be nice if they kind of match up like this one does. So I'm just going to combine them size-wise. So these two are pretty small. These two can go together. This is also a small one. Can combine it with this one. This one is pretty big. Maybe I should combine it with this one, because here I also have pink and bubbles. Yeah. And then pink and orange can join there. This looks pretty good. So now I'm just matching up the seams, so the joints I'm going to match up like so, and then just sew it, and then afterwards I'm going to trim. So these are my blocks, and now it's time to square them up a little bit. This one exactly, and this one especially, is pretty wonky. I do like them a lot. Okay, so let's square them up. I'm going to keep the center line with the lines on my ruler, and then I'm just going to cut a rectangle as big as possible. So now I'm lining up this line and this line with the center line. Let's see how this is going to look on the sides of the quilt. I do like where this is going. There's just so many options to choose from, because I could go on, of course, and then add more blocks and go all the way around, which also would be very fun. But I guess I'm first going to assemble these and add some strips to the smaller blocks to make them have the same width. Yeah, and then I'm going to lay those strips next to the big block, and then decide if I'm going to go all the way around and keep it squared. So I made up my mind, and it's going to be on top and on the bottom of the quilt. And I'm just going to add a strip of low volume fabric on this side and a strip on that side. So it does get a full border, but only with the half circles on the top and the bottom. Normally I hardly ever pin anything, but for adding rows to the round robin, I really make an exception. Because still, after a few round robins, it's so scary to work on someone else's work. Yeah, you're adding something to it. What if something goes wrong? It's still a bit scary, so I'm just using some pins to try to really do my best. Now I have to square up the sides a little bit. And now I can go and add the borders on the side. There we have the final pieces on the round robin block. I love how this turned out, so I'm super excited to hear tomorrow on the bee what the other ladies think of it. But I guess it suits the center block very well, and by adding another round with low volume fabrics, you really see the yellow border pop out. I really like it, and it was so much fun to sew this one. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next week again. Bye bye!